it'll always be that way. But luckily, in this sector, at least for the one wheel stuff, like people are so positive and so supportive in this community all the way around, that I think that you're going to have that continued support and just continue to grow and have I'm very stoked to see the growth and progression you're making so quickly. Like I just heard about these things not too long ago, and like granted, for me, when I saw the shocks at first, the suspension system, I was immediately like this is crazy looking. Like I would never put this on my board. But there's also that whole entire market of people who aren't doing stuff on boards like we're trying, like in that industry, that this is a phenomenal product. So and the rails that you're creating, I'm very interested to see, and like, hey, if I can start pulling out some crazy tricks off these and then adjusting in 10 minutes to go be doing some trail riding. I already have 2 boards, one that's set up more for trails and then one for tricks. So having that flexibility just seems, it's like a no-brainer. Plenty of people asking questions and you respond really well to them, which is amazing. It's always good for a Facebook group, like to be engaged. And I've seen the engagement in the group, and people are asking questions and you're getting answers.
I respond pretty quickly. It's driving me crazy that I haven't had a chance to check my email on my phone, because I normally check it like every 10 minutes. And so it's,
sorry to steal you away from all your fans.
If I don't, some of it's just spam and stuff. But if I go for several hours and don't check email, it's like I open my inbox and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to delete half of them, and I got to
unreasonable.
Know the feeling.
So plus,
so anything
complain that other manufacturers don't respond, so I don't want to do that. I considered it, but no offense to the EUC riders out there, but they kind of look weird. I don't know.
They're strange. I see I don't know, like I've seen some of those guys whipping around on those things, and they remind me of there's like one of the, I want to say like iRobot or something like that. But there was a movie, and when I see all these crazy group rides and those dudes because those things will go like 35.
Oh, there's guys that are going 60 on the expressway. In EUC, some of them are really fast. But you want to talk about nosediving? There are a couple videos of guys nosediving EUCs. You just instantly faceplant hard at speed, and you have this thing now that's going to roll up your backside and over the top of you. Mm-hmm. It's rough.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to get one, but they're also, a one wheel's already expensive enough. A decent EUC is $3,500 or more. He brings up.
And is that going to be a lighter set? Is that going to be a lighter set of rails then?
Yeah, it'll save weight because there's less material. Thing is, his comment about strength and integrity is it's a misdirected comment, because the rows of holes don't weaken the rail; they strengthen it. And the reason that they strengthen it's not the fact that there's material removed; it's the fact that they're wider in this area. So when you put weight on a one wheel, you're pushing down on the sides, and that puts an upward moment on the axle, and it wants to bend at either side of the axle. So the fact that our rails widen here actually increases the strength tremendously. They're twice as strong.
So for dudes like Send It Sam Varner, like who are flying over cars on a one wheel, and the only thing they have to worry about is their bead popping on their tire. These may even be a better option. So if they don't, now for all the people I'm gonna help out the one wheel beginners here who listen to the podcast. Like, what's the purpose of lifting it?
A number of things: ground clearance, hill climbing, because if the deck is up higher, now you can achieve a steeper hill climb before you dig the nose of the board in, and maneuverability. When you raise the center of gravity, you decrease stability. Decreasing stability is also just increased maneuverability. So that's the main reason. And I've seen a bunch of negative comments recently about One Wheel Parts has introduced a lift kit for the Pint, and a bunch of people were kind of bashing on it. Why would anyone want to do this? What a useless upgrade. When you raise a board and ride it, you'll think differently about it. A lot of requests for this. The current rails have 4 rows of holes, and this was settled on for a couple of specific reasons. Now, first off, it's the second row of holes down from the top that would be essentially the stock position. If you put a stock rail across here and line up with those holes, the height at the center of the foot pads is where it would be on the stock rail. And then there's 1 row of holes above that to drop the rail down. And they're
what would be the sorry, I don't mean to interject, but like what would be the what would be the purpose of lowering the rails?
It gives more stability.
I don't quite comprehend that.
So,
Okay. But less maneuverability?
but you have to learn to coordinate pulling the brake lever when you're starting to go over backward
Mm-hmm.
to drag the brake. You have to coordinate that with your pedal inputs. It's the same way with a regular skateboard. With this, there's no coordinating multiple different body parts.
It's mind control.
Yeah,
It's so
you
mind
think-
control.
Dude, I seriously like that. It can't be understated
Yes.
how amazing that system
yes,
is.
you think forward and it goes forward. You think slow
It's
down.
unlike anything else on planet Earth.
it is.
There's nothing else
Oop,
like that.
We have lighting. Our lighting just changed.
Blue bulb.
So I've become more
Nice.
mysterious now.
Yeah.
So
Our mystery
In this
guest.
segment, we answer questions from the
should
community.
turn a flashlight
going
on under
deep.
my chin. So
Yeah.
we'll get that sorted. But anyway, yeah, it's the intuitive nature of a one wheel is unique. Also, all of us in our family.
Well, and also, like, as the sport continues, like, I don't care if you do tricks or not. Like, if you're a one-wheel rider and you see somebody doing some gnarly stuff on a one-wheel, you're still interested, right? It's like, I might not play football, but I'll watch football.
Yes.
Like, same concept. So it's like me watching the X Games or whatever. So, like, as they do the race for the railers, they start to stream more and they put these tricks on. Like, if you're a one-wheel rider, like, you'll tune in and watch somebody do some really cool stuff.
And that is true. So I'll say that the people that are attracted, well, there's a couple different markets for one-wheel riders. You've got the youth, which is there's a strong demographic there for them. They don't necessarily have quite as much disposable income. Then you've got guys that are like myself that were into BMX or skateboarding way back when, and now we can afford to buy toys. And there's not a whole lot in between.
We're also not afraid to wear safety gear at this point.
Yeah. You know, what's funny about all of that is that we go for rides and our pint, the pint is whatever they say, 6 to 8 miles or something. But we go.
Taylor only gets like 2 miles on the trails.
Well, and it's hilarious because our pints are like 10 miles. We'll go for a 10-mile ride, and my son's like, all right, I'm getting bad pushback. You look down at the lights on the pint. It's getting low. Let's go home. And we get home, and I've still got 45% of my battery left after 10 miles, and his pint went 10 full miles. So we do the street riding that we do is generally, it's hilly around here, but we're not all that aggressive. We do just modest cruising. The battery range really is quite good if you're just cruising. The problem is you get into any kind of aggressive riding at all, and it's really rough. There's a massive difference between 15 and 25. It's like it's like an order of magnitude higher. One thing I want to point out in this, I've met a handful of guys in this industry, or in this community, I guess you'd say, that fit into a category that I don't want to leave unmentioned, and that is people that have some severe trauma in their background, be it former drug addiction or whatever, and they're drawn to the one wheel because there's something about like the biomechanical there's something there that sort of eases their nervous system, and it becomes an escape for them. And